I gotta put me first. I gotta put me first. I gotta put me first.
Like, I have no more blue jeans left. They're all worn through. I've been going to thrift stores for my fat ass, and I can't find shit. And when you do find your size, they wear out so much faster because, like, the thigh gap tax are we gonna start naming this a new thing? Because it's pissing me off. It's pissing me fucking off. I can't find the style that I want in plus size unless I go to fucking Torrid. That's how I got these. I'm just so beyond fucking done with this bullshit. I'm just done. I'm fucking done. And I can't be the only fucking plus size woman who's had enough. Get it together. Get it together. These corporate companies jacking their prices up. What are we supposed to do with that? And I'm not in the position to be spending money on a bunch of pairs of jeans. So now I'm down to these jeans in the middle of winter. You know, I am so done. I'm so done. I'm so done. Jesus Christ.
If you don't stop buying every single piece of cute plus size clothing at thrift stores to get your oversized fit, I'm going to start going to the bins every single morning as soon as they open. I'm going to find every single cute piece of straight size clothing that they have, and I'm going to start Frankensteining them together to fit my fat ass, because there's no clothes left for me. I'm poor too, okay? I need options too, bitch.
Let me pretend I care. Okay, I'm done.
I'm hungry.
Because there's just there's no way that's gonna happen.
Fat girl fall. It's coming.
That was embarrassing. I really hope you're embarrassed.
Okay, what's the fattest thing you ever did?
Hey everyone, and welcome to my new and slightly improved channel. I decided to change everything because my other videos just looked like crap. I wanted to give my channel a little more character whilst making it a little more exciting for you guys. I even changed my voice. It's sexy, isn't it? Anyway, I wanted to start off by saying thank you to everyone that subscribed, liked my videos, and left comments. I cannot tell you how grateful I am for all the support. When I first started this channel, I didn't expect to get many views or to reach many people. I didn't think anyone would get my sense of humor either, because fun fact, my first video on this channel was the first video I ever made.
I thought that was pretty obvious.
Like, I have never opened a video editing software before making this channel. I didn't even know what I was doing, so I didn't think my humor or opinions would translate well. But seeing you all enjoy my content has given me so much motivation to bring you more videos, and that's a huge part of why I changed things up a little, because I wanted to create a little home for us. It's a mess, and there's a reason for that. But for now, let's just focus on today's topic. And that topic is fat people and their ongoing beef with the fat industry. If you guys have TikTok, you know that plus-sized people have been complaining about the choice of plus-sized models, thin people thrifting plus-sized clothing, the general fit of their clothes due to measurements, plus-sized availability in stores. Basically anything clothing related, they seem to have a problem with it. I'm not going to talk about everything today because I have shitty Wi-Fi and a bitch computer that hates me, so today we're just going to focus on them complaining about thin people buying larger sized clothing. So go grab a family-sized meal and a diet soda because I'm about to start the video.
Couple of things. My students, just last week, I had them talk about what perceptions they have of me. And a lot of them said that they believed I thrifted most of my clothes. And I laughed. And they were like, why are you laughing? And I was like, because it's so hard to find fat clothes in thrift stores. Like, it seems almost impossible most of the time when I go to thrift stores. There's really not any options. Some of the thrift stores in San Francisco don't even go or collect items above an extra large. And then there's videos like this where it's like, Why are you buying those 5X pants as an aesthetic, right? That's what you're doing. It's an aesthetic for you. When there are fat people who cannot afford clothing, who could have gone there and got a pair of pants that they could have taken to a job interview, or could have taken to the grocery store, or could have taken to an event that they had, but you took those instead for an aesthetic.
Basically, yeah.
And I'm so tired of this idea of like, I'm going to do what I want and they're going to do what they want. Well, the problem is that when you do what you want, you don't allow for others to do what they want. Because if you take those 5X pants and that's the only pair of 5XL pants, what are they going to do?
Sounds like a personal problem.
Go naked? Just not do anything? I mean, that's what fatphobia tells us, that fat people shouldn't do anything. Fat people aren't allowed to exist and live. So if you want to sit here and be like, you know, I really care about the people and I really want a better world and that's why I thrift, okay, well then also thrift responsibly.
This is what gets me with the fat acceptance community, because it's like you give some of them an inch but they end up taking a mile. This woman is literally telling you what you can and can't buy with your own money. Imagine being so entitled that you feel like you have the right to dictate people's spending habits. I don't know if she's aware, but people have been buying items in sections not intended for them for years. Let me give you some examples. Adults with really small feet sometimes have to buy kids' shoes. Chubby kids sometimes shop in adult sections. Fat women buy maternity clothing or oversized clothing intended for straight-sized people. And I've literally heard of people buying dog collars for themselves to wear. Personally, like, this topic can't be and won't be up for debate because people are gonna buy what they wanna buy regardless of how many TikTok videos she makes. It sounds kinda messed up, but the last thing I'd expect anyone to do when shopping is to stop and think, oh my god, what am I doing? I can't buy that because someone else might need it. People need to be more realistic and mature about things like this, because it's always been a first come, first served kind of thing. If they want those 5X pants, then they'll have to beat others to it. Because if I decided to buy a 5X shirt and make a car cover out of it, then that's truly my right, because I paid for it.
Do we have to?
You just have to stop buying new clothes entirely. You need to wear the clothes you have, shop at thrift.
When fat people talk about thin privilege, this is what we're talking about. The majority of fat people wear out our clothes until they are unwearable.
I felt like I had to stop the video to address that little statement right there, because it really seems like she's insinuating that clothing companies are deliberately using cheap material to manufacture plus-sized clothing, when I feel like cheap material is being used across the board, especially if you're purchasing anything from the fast fashion industry. But what I think is more important here is the lack of accountability. There's a reason why their clothes are disintegrating. Let's look at it this way. If relatively cheap material is being used to make affordable clothing and you're fat, then your clothes don't stand a chance. Clothing companies seek to make profit, so you can't expect them to utilize high-quality fabric to specifically cater to large people, so their clothes last longer, especially when plus-size clothing requires more material to manufacture in comparison to straight-sized clothing. I refuse to believe that they're doing this with malicious intent, because even straight-sized clothing feels hella cheap too.
Because plus-size clothing is so expensive and so difficult to find, we're not just donating pieces because we want to change our aesthetic. In fact, I would argue that having an aesthetic is also part of thin privilege.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm constantly amazed by the stuff that fat activists come up with. Like, I'm convinced she just made that up on the spot, because I'm 98% sure that this isn't even a thing. I've literally come across hundreds of fat people on TikTok who have the privilege of a found aesthetic. It just sounds like she has a problem finding hers, or this is just another excuse to garner sympathy or oppression points. Either way, she's gonna have to explain how these fat women are able to have an aesthetic when she's on here implying that it's a privilege solely awarded to thin people.
I can't find my size at thrift stores. I can barely find my size in regular stores. And frankly, thin people keep buying plus-size clothing in thrift stores to upcycle.
I honestly think a lot of them don't think before they speak. At the beginning of her rant, she stated that fat people wear their clothes until it's unwearable.
The majority of fat people wear out our clothes until they are unwearable.
Now, if you're telling us that fat people tend to wear their clothing until it's completely destroyed, then chances are there will be very little available for sale due to a lack of donations. But but this doesn't mean you're entitled to it. The only thing they can do to combat this issue is to buy them before thin people do, otherwise they'll have to accept being inconvenienced every once in a while. At the end of the day, most people go into thrift stores with the idea that they're doing a good thing regardless of what they purchase. And for you to come on the internet to complain about them buying unwanted goods in order to reduce waste seems incredibly immature and unprogressive to me.
Don't you care about the environment?
Besides, the majority of straight-sized individuals aren't buying plus-sized clothing in thrift stores, and I don't believe the rest are buying enough to create a mass shortage nationwide. I've come across countless videos of plus-sized thrift hauls, so that tells me two things. One, there's clearly options available for fat people, and two, there's a high possibility that she wanted to magnify and over-exaggerate a rare occurrence for content, and I'm guessing sympathy. Hey, really quickly, if you're enjoying the video, please consider hitting the like button and subscribing to my channel. If you don't do that, then I'll cry. And I'm an ugly crier, so you'll be putting everyone around me in an awkward position because they'll have to stare at my ugly crying face all day. All jokes aside, I love reading your comments and getting feedback, so feel free to leave those too. Okay, I'm done, let's get back to the video. The funniest thing in all of this is the way fat people have collectively decided to get back at thin people. They've apparently started to purchase straight-sized clothing to somehow inconvenience thin people. Let's be honest, not only is this immature, it's incredibly stupid because it won't fit if it's too small, and according to most of them there are much more straight-size options available, so even if you were able to find a few things that just about fit, then it won't make a difference. If this becomes a bigger trend, then they'll probably only end up with a bunch of unwearable clothing and less money in their pocket.
You know those people who take plus-size pants that actual plus-size people could use and belt them a lot to make them fit? I was inspired by their audacity to wear pants that are way, way, way too tiny for me, and in no universe would ever fit me in the way they were intended. As I sat there and pondered, I realized I could make a really cute top with an itty-bitty little mini scarf. For a minute there, I actually doubted the level of audacity that I had to make this dream come true.
One thing about fat people, we gon' get creative. This is the skirt, okay? Are you with me? Are you with me? This is the skirt. It's a size medium from Urban Outfitters, okay? I know my current fit is giving very much Clover, so 1, 2, 3, eyes on me. Let's get into the scrap. And by scrap, I mean skirt, crop top. Let's get into it.
I don't like it.
Let's get into it. You can't tell me this not a crop top.
That's not a crop top. That's a skirt.
You can't tell me that this was ever a skirt. And also, we got that detailing on the side. Then if I was swing-a-ling-a-ling to the back, you can't tell me this not a crop top.
I genuinely love her spirit. I actually find her to be really funny, but honey, if you're listening, it's still a skirt. Personally, I wouldn't do something like that, but I guess it looked good. Anyway, to conclude this episode, I think the fat community need to respect people's decisions. Just like the woman in the last clip, she exercised her right to purchase something that wasn't even in her size and made it into a crop top. Straight-sized people are doing exactly the same thing. The more logical thing to do would be to purchase oversized clothing or check smaller sizes to see if it stretches, etc. I don't know. That's what I would do if I were fat. But overall, I'd say these people are pretty much talking to a brick wall, because I can't imagine anyone leaving something they deeply desire for someone they don't know. We've all been inconvenienced whilst shopping, from not being able to find our size to our favorite item being out of stock in the grocery store. It's just these little things in life we have to be mature about. It's frustrating, but internet tantrums won't change anything. Just aim to be a better advocate for minimizing waste, because you all sound like you're asking everyone to prioritize your feelings over the environment.
I think you're just being a little selfish and immature.
That's all I have for today. I really hope you all enjoyed my video. Let me know what you think about today's topic. Do you think thin people are being inconsiderate when they buy plus-size clothing in thrift shops? You guys already know my stance, but you can always let me know if I'm wrong in the comments. Anyway, please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel. Also, be sure to share it with a friend or your grandma. I think I said everything a YouTuber is supposed to say when ending a video, so I'm gonna go because I've been staring at my dinner for the last hour and I'm pretty sure it's cold. Bye.